There's a new matcha place in Copenhagen and today I'm gonna try that out. I'm really excited for it because it's only 55 krona and that is very cheap for Copenhagen prices. It's like roughly 7 to 8 euros, which is really good. Usually a matcha is around 75 krona, which is like 10 euros, and it is in a Korean skincare store, so that's really cool as well. So I'm curious to explore that. And then my other plan for today is that I'm gonna pick up my ceramic cup that I created almost 2 months ago. It took them quite a while to finish it and to glaze it, but now today finally I can pick it up and I'm so curious to see it with the glaze. I hope it didn't shrink, and I also hope that my handle didn't break off. So yes, I'm really excited for that, but I'm sure it's gonna be so nice. Now I'm really excited for the matcha. Let's see if that's any good. We're doing a taste test. I got a matcha with vanilla foam, so I guess that's on top of that. Let's try. The foam is really nice. Only honest opinions. The foam is nice. I think it's a bit weak for me. It could be stronger, but it's tasty. In one of my previous videos, I talked about the book that I'm reading right now, and I finally finished it and I need to talk about it. I honestly think it might be the best book I've ever read in my entire life, and I think this book will stay forever with me. It says on the cover, it's a small miracle, and I couldn't agree more. The book is called I Who Have Never Known Man by Jacqueline Hartman, and I don't think it would be necessarily everybody's taste, but I do think everybody should read it. Obviously, I don't want to spoil the plot or anything, so I'm gonna just talk a little bit what it is about in the overall sense and what my interpretation is. So basically, it is about 40 women being held in a cage, and no one knows why they're there and how they even got there. And one of the women, who is also the narrator of the book, is significantly younger than the other woman. So she got there when she was a child. All she knows in her entire life is this life in the cage. And the difference is that the other woman held in the cage, they had a regular life before living in the cage. So they had family, they had jobs, and they just lived outside in the world as we know it. For me, it is about questions about life, but it is also about how reality is a construct, because the other woman obviously shared that knowledge and that experience about the outside world, but the girl doesn't, so she questions a lot of things. So it is about how she has questions about matters that are so normal for us. So she just has a lot of questions and no one ever answers these questions to her because either they don't want to or maybe they also can't. It basically, for me, reflects how our reality is shaped, is basically a construct, and sometimes we just take it as it is instead of questioning it. And we should ask all these questions that she asks ourselves and find answers to them ourselves, but we don't, because we just accept how our reality is constructed. And it is also about not only that the reality is obviously a construct and it's shaped by social norms, social values, and the social construct of it all, but it is also about how reality is a shared experience. So what I mean with that is that this outside world only exists because the woman shared that experience and that knowledge about that. But of course, the girl doesn't have that knowledge or experience. So for her, that is not part of her reality. But then on the other hand, it is also about how if you don't share an experience with anyone, so if no one witnesses it almost, it doesn't happen. I mean, at least these are my takeaways, right? This is not something that is in the book. This is just what I am thinking about after the book, after reading the book. Basically, the story is like super bizarre and the whole plot is about things happening that are just weird, and you just have questions and questions and questions, and they're not necessarily answered. And I personally think, and I see it also in the things that I marked in the book, it is about trying to find trying to first of all even ask questions in general about the reality as we know it, and to question it and not just to take it as it is, but then also to find the answers ourselves and not be just influenced by the construct that we live in. And that's now very abstract, but it is about how we think or define death or love, all these big meaningful words in our world, or how we also obey to certain rules that we don't really understand why we even obey to them. It is so interesting how the author succeeds in making the reader question reality, basically. Also, as I said, the plot is very bizarre and it's like very intriguing because you just want to know what is happening next. But what is happening next is even more bizarre and more weird than the thing happening before that. You don't really know where you're going with this book. It is also, I think, about giving up. What happens when you stop questioning things? It's about so many things. It's like I could talk about this for hours. But basically what I want to say is that this book is honestly worth reading and you should give it a shot and read it. I personally think, as I said, everybody should read this. It's a really good book to start a discussion about life and the questions of life, in my opinion. So you should definitely read it. We're once again going foraging to our usual spot, and we've been here a few weeks ago, and back then it was still so cold and barely any leaves on the trees, and now everything is so green and so colorful. It's so beautiful. Okay, chef, what are we looking for today?
We're back at our wild garlic patch. And today we're foraging the flowers, the last, leaves that are still good, and also some closed buds and capers, if we can find them. I mean, I call them capers, but it's basically the seed pods. So it's all still the last cycle of the wild garlic flower. Yeah.
Perfect. We ordered some pizza for takeaway and it looks so good. I'm racing home so we can have the pizza, but I'm gonna show you the pizza because it looks incredible. Oh my god, look at this pizza. It looks like the absolute perfect pizza.
It gets cold.
Oh yeah. I'm currently getting ready to leave the house. We are meeting with some friends in a new cafe. Well, it's not really a new cafe, but it's a cafe I've never been to. It's in the neighborhood called Christianshavn, and I don't really spend a lot of time there. It's always nice to explore different neighborhoods and not only stay in your neighborhood, because I think that's something I tend to do, that I just stay a bit more in my neighborhood.
There's music in the air when the infant morning sky and fainted blushes sing on the bright and laughing sky. Many a harpsichord tactic sound with its thrill of joy profound, while we list enchanted there to the music in the air. There's music in the air when the noontide's sultry beam reflects a golden light on the distant mountain stream. When beneath some grateful shade sorrow's aching head is laid, sweetly to the spirit there comes the music in the air. Ah, 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 ah. There's music in the air when the twilight's gentle.
I'm just hanging out on the couch, but I actually wanted to talk about something that is a bit frustrating to me right now. I just thought maybe someone out there knows how to help me and what I can do about it. Already say it, it's not serious and I don't think it's that serious, but I'm just a bit frustrated about it. It's about my hair. So it's very not that serious. But I'm really frustrated about my hair. I don't know if you guys remember, about 2 months ago, I went to the hairdresser to get a balayage. I specifically said that I want to have a balayage that will grow out as natural as possible and that will look good even though the roots come out. So my former hairdresser that had to close down, unfortunately, he did the balayage in such a good way that so he hand painted it so it just looked so good when it grew out. But then of course I needed to try a new hairdresser, and I specifically said that I really want to have this growing out natural style, but she did just the usual highlights, at least from like the technique that I could see. I really like the result, but now I feel like how they grow out is not at all what I wanted, because I don't know if you can really see it, but I feel like there's a really big cut. I feel like there's just like a rough cut and it's just not growing out as I wanted it to be. And I just am a bit frustrated about it because in Copenhagen you pay a lot of money for a balayage, so you pay like at least 2,700 krona, which is almost 400 euros. That's without a cut, so just for the color. And I'm just really frustrated because I did communicate what I wanted, and I specifically said that I only go to the hairdresser every 6 months, so twice a year, just to keep my hair healthy. And now I feel like I have to go to the hairdresser again after 2 months. And maybe it's just me being dramatic and I just see it more because maybe other people don't see it as much. But my partner also said the other day that it's a bit like big fat stripe on my head, and I'm just, I don't know, I'm really frustrated about it, and I don't really know what to do, if I need to do like baby highlights, but then again it's like 2 months ago, and it just makes me really sad and frustrated because I did have my hairdresser before and I really liked him, and he was so good and he understood exactly what I wanted and needed. Obviously no one has bad intentions, and I did really like the result. And maybe it's just because my hair is so dark. Maybe I'm just also being dramatic. Maybe I'm also not in the right here, but I'm just feel a bit frustrated about it. And I want to know what I should do now, because I don't want to color it again, because obviously it's been 2 months ago. And but maybe I just need to give it some time because, well, summer is hopefully around the corner and then my hair is gonna get brighter anyways. But yeah, I don't know, maybe you guys have an idea, or maybe someone out there is a hairdresser or someone knows what to do, because obviously, as I said, again, it's not that serious, but I don't know, if you pay almost 400 euros for something and then it's just not what you want at the end. I don't know, I'm just a bit frustrated with it. If someone knows, please let me know.